Your body is a protein-producing machine.
Okay.
And every cell in your body makes proteins except for red blood cells. And in order for a cell to make a protein, a gene has to be regulated.
Yeah.
So then genes are like Christmas tree lights.
Yeah.
They're switching on and off all the time. And when they switch on, they upregulate and they make a healthy protein.
Yeah.
When they switch off, they downregulate and they make a cheaper protein.
Yeah.
So then, if you're thinking the same way, making the same choices, doing the exact same things in routine and the same habits, doing the same things that create the same experiences, that create the same feelings, you got the same genes turned on and the other genes turned off.
Yeah.
Same Christmas tree lights on, the other one's off. Now you're headed for a genetic destiny. Yeah, we don't see things how they are, we see things how we are. And if you don't know that you have control over your genes, then it never crosses your mind, right?
Yeah.
So then the other part of that is when a person's living by the same feeling and the same emotion every single day, and those emotions are influencing the way they think and the way they act,
Yeah.
and they can't think greater than how they feel, or they can't act greater than how they feel, and feelings and emotions are a record of the past,
Yeah.
they're in a program of the past, right? So the body, again, now is believing it's in the same past experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and now you're down-regulating a gene. So then if you have a propensity for Alzheimer's, if you have propensity for heart disease, if your family has a propensity for cancer, or ulcerative colitis or MS or whatever, then of course it makes sense then that if you're living in the reactions of fear and anger and hostility and envy and jealousy and resentment and pain and suffering, it's those very emotions that select and instruct genes. So then think about this. Two identical twins, both born with the same exact genome. There's no variations. They have the same exact genes.
Yeah.
One dies at 52, the other one dies at 88.
Yeah.
Oh, there's got to be some environmental influence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then they used to say genes create disease. 1% of the population has a genetic condition like Tay-Sachs disease or sickle cell anemia or type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
The other 99%, 95% is lifestyle. So then they say, well, it's not genes that create disease, it's the environment that signals the gene that creates disease. Okay, but how can two factory workers working side by side, both exposed to the same carcinogenic chemical, one gets cancer and the other doesn't? Well, the environment around the cell is still the inner environment of your body. So then a person who's living, reacting to the same people in the same way, same circumstances in the same way, they keep knocking on the same genetic door.
Yeah.
And so sooner or later, once that gene is signaled, now all of a sudden the cell is programmed to begin to make a cheaper protein. So the question is, can you reverse that process? Well, if it took you 5 years to create the health condition, you may have to work a little bit to reverse it.